So here is the video that I've been waiting to make and that a lot of other people want to make. Here's where I get the chance to show off my AR-15. I'll explain the make and model of each part as best I can and why I chose what I chose. We'll start from one end and go to the other. I'll have another video coming up with the general parts description and what to look for when shopping for your own AR. I have the standard birdcage flash hider on mine. It gets that term because, or the nickname, because it kind of looks like a birdcage. Get the camera to zero in more on this here. See, it looks like a birdcage. And this is what came on the barrel when I got it. I eventually plan on upgrading the flash hider to something that better controls the muzzle climb. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with the standard run-of-the-mill birdcage style one. The barrel is a Bravo Company BCM 20-inch. Bravo Company makes their barrels to full military specification. This one is made from 11595E steel. It is chrome lined. It has a 1-in-7 twist. It was high pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected. I went with the 20-inch barrel over the more common 16-inch because I wanted the extra velocity and accuracy along with the flatter trajectory that makes the 200-yardish shots more on and extends the effective range of the round. The front sight is the standard style as well as the gas tube. I eventually plan on getting a flat glass gas block and putting a diamond head flip-up sight on here to match the diamond head rear sight. We'll get to that a little later. Like the flash hider, there's nothing necessarily wrong with the standard front sight. I believe the bayonet lug is standard as well. And the sling swivel is one of two standard kinds that I've seen. This one hangs directly under the rear pin of the sight. And I have seen others that come outward that way and come across like that. I don't find that to be very comfortable, and I much prefer the one that sits underneath the barrel in the sight. The handguard is Magpul. I chose this one because I don't see the point in having a rail system that's heavier and chews up your support hand when you're underneath here, and you got recoil going on, you're letting lots of shots flying down range at the zombies. I find that it kind of chews up my hand a little bit here. But the Magpul also allows you to mount little modular rails in those slots right there that you see. Right in these slots, and there's also some slots underneath it here as well. This is one of the modular rails here. It's made of polymer, so you probably couldn't put anything that's too precise on there. Like, you probably wouldn't want to put a scope or a red dot on that because it will move. I don't plan on putting a whole heck of a lot on there, but I do want to put a flashlight on there. I think that's something that's pretty practical. I'm not a big fan of the vertical grip, so I doubt I'll put one of those on here, unless it's the kind that also has the little legs that pop out to act as a bipod. I've thought about maybe putting one of those on here. Overall, these Magpul handguards are very comfortable, and they fit my hand very well. The Delta ring is pretty standard. I'm not aware of better or worse Delta rings. Now here is where it starts to get fun. I have an Aimpoint PRO red dot optic. Red dot optics with no magnification are an ideal choice for close to medium range engagements, as you can acquire your target faster, you can shoot with both eyes open, it allows you to shoot around corners if you get a little mirror add-on, and it allows you to better use it at night over iron sights. A lot of folks also find their accuracy improved slightly as well. Now, I wanted a good quality red dot optic. And I figure the most likely zombie apocalypse scenario will involve the distances that are best suited for a red dot such as this, which would be 50 to 300 yards. I went with Aimpoint over their chief rival EOTech, primarily because Aimpoint batteries can run for years continuously, where the EOTech batteries only last a few hundred hours. And when the zombies come, I don't see myself getting resupplied on a regular basis, so I need gear that will last long term. Aimpoints are also lighter than EOTechs, and they come with flaps that go over the glass, right here. In fact, with this one, you can have both flaps closed and you'll still be able to find your target with the red dot on if you keep both eyes open, because you get that sort of holographic imagery going on with both eyes open. So I'll demonstrate that here just like this. You can see that even though the flaps are closed, you can still see the little dot in the center of the optic there. Now the front flap is solid black, but the rear flap here is sort of a clear plastic. So when you keep both eyes open, you know, say you're charging through the mud, or there's real heavy rain, or dirt's flying around, and you don't want your glass to get scratched up, you can put these flaps over it. As long as you keep both eyes open, you can still find your target. Another benefit to the Aimpoints is that they are lighter than the EOTechs. However, lots of EOTech users say that they have a better field of view, as the design is completely different and it makes for a wider field of view through the glass. It looks less like a shorter scope and more like a TV is what I hear some people say. In addition to having a red dot or a scope, you need iron sights. If the batteries go out on the red dot or it gets damaged, then you're going to have to rely on your iron sights. They will save you. And you will find a lot of flip-up sights on rifles with red dots, because you can flip them back to not impede your view of the optic there, and then flip them up when you need them. And you can see right through the optic like that. Now mine is a Diamond Head brand. Rather than have a circular peephole like on most sights, this one is diamond shaped. I was having a real hard time centering up the top of the front sight post through the circular peephole, so I tried this. Well, it's not as diamondy as I was hoping it would be due to my focusing of the eye on the front sight, leaving the rear sight and my target a little fuzzy. I still find it easier to acquire my target and more consistently find the center to line up with the front sight. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Hopefully I can get a good focus on that. Yeah, you can see it's kind of diamondy as opposed to circular. Now ordinarily when you're looking through it though, you want to keep your eye focused on the front sight, and the rear sight is going to be a little fuzzy. This is sort of an exaggerated example here, but you get the idea. Works a lot better when your actual eye is looking through it rather than looking through it with the camera here, but it looks something like that. I usually keep my Aimpoint turned off with the iron sight up, and a little baggie over the Aimpoint here. This is to stop dust and dirt and whatnot from getting on the glass. The less I have to wipe the glass, the better, because I don't want to scratch it. I don't want to get it dirty. The glass needs to serve you well for a long time. But this way, I can have it at the ready for threats with the iron sight ready to go. I don't want to have to waste time. Say there's a break-in or something. I don't want to have to reach for the rifle and then dink around with the setting here when I'm in a hurry. I just want to be able to grab it, use the iron sights, and and go from there. But if I have, you know, more than 10 seconds to prepare for a threat, then yeah, you know, pull the baggie off and dial up the aim point there a couple clicks, and you know, maybe throw the rear sight back. They all work a little differently. On this one, it's got a little button right there. Hit that button and it flips right back, and then you have a completely unimpeded view, or excuse me. And when I upgrade my front sight to a flip-up one, then you'll have a completely unimpeded view of the aim point, because right now when you look to the aim point, you still have some of the front sight in there.